What's up everybody, Brett here, my YouTube channel Good Talk Gaming. I'm very excited today to be jumping into Kingdom Rush Frontiers with you guys. We just finished Kingdom Rush HD, the PC version of the mobile game Kingdom Rush, and it was fun. It was a lot of nostalgia for me to go back and play that game all the way through. We did a very good job together. I hope you guys watched that series, and if you did, you should know what to expect from this series. We're going to play it all the way through from start to finish. We're going to try and get 3 stars on every single level, and I'm going to be very happy to explain to you guys the difference from the first game to the second game, and hopefully show you guys lots of little Easter eggs and efficient ways how to beat the various levels. So you'll see already that the aesthetic of the game is different. A little bit more of a desert jungle vibe, and it's going to be quite fun. So let me go ahead and jump on in. I have not played it on my own since, the last time I played through this game on my cell phone, so it's been quite a while for me. And here you go. Take a second to absorb the map because it is quite beautiful. This is something they added just for the PC version. In the mobile game, it doesn't have all of this cool like animated scenery and things. So you can already see where we're starting, and you can kind of tell where the path is going to lead for us. And it's going to be a long journey. There are a lot of levels to this game, and you'll see areas up here, and we don't even have so many things unlocked yet. I think all of the bonus missions are in, so once we finish the main campaign, I think we'll still have quite a few unique maps to take a look at and try and beat together. So before we jump into the first level, I want to show you guys the main difference between this game and the standard Kingdom Rush HD. And here it is. It's the hero room. You'll see here we start with Ulrich unlocked, and he's honestly, for your starting hero, he's one of the better ones. He has quite a few things going for him. He's pretty tanky. He has the ability to summon sand warriors to help him block up the paths, but we'll unlock these guys as we go through the different stages, and you'll see here it says unlocks at stage 8, stage 9, stage 10. So in the original game, you could unlock Ulrich, Mirage, Cronin, and at some point they added Bruxa, but I think the rest of them were, kind of behind a paywall. Some were 99 cents and other things like that. So some of these heroes I haven't even gotten a chance to play with, like Kaz, for example, or Saitam. I believe I'm saying that correctly. So I haven't even gotten a chance to play with some of these guys, so I'm pretty excited to unlock them at some point and jump into that with you guys. But the difference here is that in the first game you had a hero, of course, but that hero would start at level 1 in every single stage and would progress slowly up to level 10 throughout the course of the map, and then at the end would revert back to level 1 and you do it all over again. But this time the experience you get in a particular level is saved, and your hero does actually progress. You get a couple points per level, which you can then spend in certain abilities, and you'll see here how much those abilities cost, and we'll get into more of what they are and why we're choosing them as we level. And these are his base stats. So HP 245, low armor, which is okay, 6 to 10 attack, and I think this is his attack speed, but it could also be his movement speed. I'm not sure. I don't quite remember. Yeah, we'll see. I think it must be attack speed, because if I remember right, she teleports. So there's no way her movement speed would be average if she does have a teleport. Unless that's disability. So we'll see as we get into it. I don't want to beleaguer that too much. We have our upgrades, which we have no points for yet, and we'll get into that as well once we get started. So without any further ado, let's jump in here to Hammerhold. Defender of Lineria, your services are once more required as evil forces are attacking the ancient stronghold of Hammerhold. It hasn't been attacked in a long time, and now it's once again under siege by nomadic desert tribes. Take command of the kingdom's forces and defend us. So if you wanted to roleplay this a little bit, Alric kind of fits the the bill for a defender quite nicely. Hammerhold. It won't hold much longer. The east side is about to fall. Charge! And here we go. Love these comics. And I'm not going to skip the instructions. For those of you guys who are new to tower defense games in general, this could be somewhat informative for you. So you can take a second to learn. If you want to pause the video, that's fine. And this is very similar to the first game. We have our 4 standard towers: archer towers, barracks, mage, and artillery. And we'll get into the differences as needed. So here the enemy starts in one corner of the map, and they're trying to get to the end position, and we have to stop them. So no big deal. And we can go ahead and put something like a dwarven bombard in this position. And we can get a couple of barracks here. Now this map is pretty cool. It gives us some little defender guys, these legion archers, and they're essentially archer towers here. So we can go ahead and start the battle. So some desert thugs coming our way, and since they are a new enemy, we're going to check them out. The desert thugs. These thugs are lowly mercenaries that enjoy pillaging. Average speed, low damage, and we can take a look at their stats. 2 to 6 damage, 50 HP. Our barracks unit should be able to deal with them nicely. And we're going to place the barracks guys here to first blood, kill one enemy. And let's call the next wave early, because this is going to be no problem for us. You can summon troops to help you in the battlefield. Call reinforcements. They're free, and you can call them every 10 seconds. So let's go ahead and call these guys. We'll stick them right in the middle to help blob them up. And we'll place this here. And we can honestly call them early again, and you'll look here, little Star Wars. There's going to be a lot of little Easter eggs in these maps, and I hope I can find them all for you. So calling the waves early gives us extra gold. And we're just stacking our reinforcements here. They're going to be very good at dealing with thugs. They don't do a lot of damage, 1 to 2, and they have 30 HP and no armor. So they're significantly weaker than the guys they're fighting, but they are able to hold them in position. And we want to do the nice little trick of summoning, calling early, and then we can summon again. So heroes are elite units that can face strong enemies and support your forces. So level in experience. Every time they damage an enemy or use an ability, so that's when they gain their experience. So here comes Alaric, and we want to get him in the fight. And a new enemy for us, so Dune Raider, seasoned sellswords from the Nomad tribe. So these guys actually have some armor, high damage, and average speed. So they're perfect targets for our heroes to fight. And a mage tower would be excellent against them as well. You see here we're still missing one ability, which I'm sure we'll get in a second. But we want to make sure Alaric is always fighting, because if he's fighting, he's getting experience. And we don't have to worry about certain guys getting through. We have plenty of defense in the background. And we can also call early once again in just a second. And we get a little tip. Let's see what they want us to do. Some enemies wear armor. Yep. So that's where I said the mage towers will come in handy. And they're a bit more expensive, so we need to save up to get them.
I have no fear.
Alaric's going to do good work against these guys. I'm not sure it's possible to get him to level 2 in this particular level. But if we go back here and we do the heroic and the iron challenges, I think we will end up leveling him. And we're going to summon, call the next wave, and summon again. So Fearless is another achievement unlocked. We called all the waves early. And now we unlock Rain of Fire. Blast your enemies with fire from the skies. Best save for an emergency or great opportunity since it has a long cooldown. So we're going to see if we do need that. We shouldn't. But I can use it just to show you guys who perhaps haven't seen that before. So you do it something like this. Would be great to use it on the high armor guys because it does do magic damage, so it's very effective against the enemies with higher armor. Alrock is getting some damage done. It's getting close to level 2. Build on all holders on any given campaign stage. So Landowner is another achievement. Let's make sure that we're microing our hero. He's so close to leveling. And there we go. We took them down, and here we go. Resistance is futile. Your end is coming soon. Wow. And so it begins, and Sand Warrior are the achievements we unlocked. 3 stars, no big deal. And the game is trying to teach us about upgrades now. So let's go ahead and take a look at the upgrades we do have available. So Steady Hand increases marksman attack range, that's nice. Barracks trained soldiers with better armor, we're going to want to get that. Increases mage attack range, very nice. Artillery attack range. Increases meteor damage and reduces the cooldown by 5 seconds, that's very good. Additional health and deal a little more damage on our reinforcements there. So I think at this stage, we certainly want to get more attack range on our archers. And we can get more armor on our soldiers. And we can also get some more attack range on our mage. And I think that's going to be fine. Alrag didn't quite level. We unlock our next hero at stage 4. Okay. But I think what we're going to do here is we're going to delve a bit into the heroic and iron mode challenges. And you do that because by doing so you do also get a upgrade star. And that star is going to allow us to kind of get ahead of the curve for the next upcoming levels. And as we do that, we can end up getting a bit of a power advantage in some of the mid and later levels by having upgrades that we otherwise would not have. So we can go ahead and jump into the heroic mode, and at this stage in the game we cannot use our heroes in the heroic and iron mode challenges, and it's limiting us to upgrade level 1. So had we like put 3 points into one specific tree to get some kind of like early advantage, it would not be effective for us. And this one actually limits the towers that we can use. So let's go ahead and jump into the iron challenge. We can only use barracks and dwarven bombards.
Here's to the king, baby. For honor and glory.
So we can do something like this.
Have at thee. Charge.
And these outside positions are excellent for barracks. And there's only one wave you'll notice, and it's going to be a long continuous wave. And we're going to want to place a militia on the outside on this side as well, as soon as we can. Just a little bit of gold away. But our barracks units now have low armor, which is going to make them much more resilient against these thugs.
For the king. Have at thee.
Whereas before they were taking the full damage from them, now they have a bit of damage mitigation. We can drop some fire. We don't want to get overwhelmed. Let's go ahead and get some more barracks units on that side. And these guys are going to be a problem, the raiders. They do have low armor, they do a lot of damage. And they're just outside the range of these bombards. This shouldn't be any problem. Little Legion Archer is doing some work for us. 5 to 10 damage. Not bad. Much better suited to taking down the desert thugs though. But we can just overwhelm those guys. And we'd essentially want to place them here, because once we unlock the Dwarven Bombard, we're going to want to hold them in this area so that they can take fire from 2 separate bombards. And we're going to hold our Rain of Fire until we see someone with armor. And we're doing just fine. Place another barracks here. Allow the our secondary Legion Archer to get some shots in if anybody did make it all the way back there. So they're just trying to overwhelm us with thugs, which is not really working out for them. And I think that's going to be it. I don't know if there's too much more than that. As far as I remember, the only secret thing in this map is him. So there we get an extra star, so good. And at this point in the game, the upgrades only cost mostly 1 star. So we can just upgrade the artillery. And then we can go ahead and jump into the heroic challenge and get another star. And that'll give us a nice little advantage before we head into the next map. So now we do have waves, 6 waves, but they're going to be more specialized and more intense. They also gave us a decent amount of gold to start with. I think we can do something like that. See how that works. And we can call early for some extra gold and some extra reinforcements. And we're going to look to drop some fire on the first raiders that we see. And you'll see here the mage towers attack quite slowly, but they do a lot of damage on average. We get some backup barracks buddies. Really wish we could use Alrak here and be getting ourselves some nice experience. But he'll probably level up right into the beginning of the next map. And we can afford to call early here. But the one thing these mage towers are very good against is going to be the raiders. We can't upgrade anything quite yet. But their magic damage bypasses the raiders' armor. So that's worth knowing. And we can go ahead and drop some fire. It's not that impressive until it's upgraded. And we're going to to get some Dwarven Bombards to help us kind of deal with the piling up here that they're doing. We're on wave 5 of 6.
Reinforce.
Do we dare call early? We're going to call early after we get our reinforcements here. And we need them on that side. We do want as much gold as we can get, that way we can hurry up and get our Dwarven Bombard on the top side. We'll see where these guys go and if we can conveniently drop some fire on them. We'll just let our archer tower do its damage. It does have increased range now, so it's probably not very noticeable at this point. But increased range is a pretty powerful stat later on when the maps are very convoluted, and getting an archer tower that can hit multiple lanes at once. It's a lot of benefit to that. And I think this is the Lone Raider. And we're going to take it down. Awesome. So we're going to get another star for our troubles. Let's go into our upgrades. And we don't have enough to get the upgrades for our in-battle abilities, but we can increase. So there are not going to be too many enemies at this point in the game with high magic resistance, but that'll certainly be a thing later on. At this point, having cheaper archer towers is very nice. It allows you to do opening builds that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. And I think the archers are great early game towers for most of these maps as well. So let's get into the second level, the Sandhawk Hamlet. And let me read the campaign blurb for you guys. In the midst of all the confusion, Lord Malagar stole the powerful Hammer of Ages from Hammerhold. Our outposts east of the fortress report he's fled in that direction, and they are facing him as we speak, delaying his escape. We must hurry, General, and go to their aid. Alright, let's jump on in. And we have unlocked our level 2 towers. So we can now upgrade our towers to level 2. You'll see right off the bat we have a Stargate. Oh, let me go. Let me go. Can we blow up the chickens? We cannot. Okay. So we have 2 entrances. So you'll see the levels getting more complex. And still 1 exit. So we want to make use of these intersection holdings to place our Dwarven Bombard. Achievement unlocked. Build 30 towers. So just tons of thugs.
Want some? Get some. For the king.
And I think we can place this here. That'll be a nice position. And maybe a mage tower will be fine as well.
Charge. For honor and glory.
Something like that I think will be fine. So we have a tip. And this is a pretty important tip for those of you guys who are getting into this game and you're not that familiar with tower defenses. So barracks are good for blocking the enemy, but lack in attack power. Make sure you have enough firepower to support them. So it's showing you here that you want interlapping fields of fire held down by your infantry units here at the kind of center of the intersection.
Stay frosty.
Let's get Alaric out here and attacking. And when he levels, his base stats are going to increase, but we won't have been able to spend his points. So Birth of a Hero achievement unlocked. And of course we need to expect that more enemies will be coming up behind us here at some point. And there they go. Okay. So here we will build. What we're doing is we're making little intersections in the maps. Pathing. So let's call these guys early. Let Alaric finish them up. And we're probably going to place a mage tower here.
I have no fear. Reinforce!
Wouldn't be a bad place for a Dwarven Bombard as well. Let's go ahead and drop some fire. It's a nice little grouping. Let's get an archer tower, and we're going to look to upgrade at some point soon here. And we can call early. Our defenses are quite strong. And we can get another little secondary position there. And now the raiders are coming up from the left. So we need to get our hero over there to help deal with them. So you'll see when we go to upgrade the tower, right now it's a mage tower. It upgrades to an adept tower. Much more damage, 23 to 43 damage as opposed to 9 to 17. And it has a slow attack speed. But it's going to be very effective versus these raiders, where we're going to drop fire on to help clear them out. And we can summon early, and now we have a new enemy. So Sandhounds, very similar to the wolves and wargs from the first game. Very fast and vicious creatures that can dodge melee attacks. Very fast, can dodge melee attacks. Okay.
I have no fear. Blood and sand. The shade is gone.
And we're just upgrading that to a marksman tower. On average, just much more damage and an increased range. The marksman towers are very good at dealing with the dogs, who have low HP and no armor. So their fast attack is very accurate and good at killing them. So let's get Alaric over here. We need to get him in on the action. And I think we can call early. That's just free gold for us. And we're going to want to upgrade our Dwarven artillery as well. So it has a larger area of effect. The range itself isn't increased, which would have been nice. Let's get Alaric in and amongst his soldiers. And there we go. So you'll see this is 8 to 15 damage. And this is 20 to 40. So a huge increase. And this is a perfect opportunity to rain of fire. We're going to call down and call early. And let's upgrade to our footman barracks. They're getting a lot of use here. So they have 100 HP, 3 to 4 damage, and low armor. Whereas these guys have 50 HP, 1 to 3 damage, and low armor. So they're twice as good, essentially. And at this kind of power level, they're able to kill thugs on their own, which makes them much more useful. And we can upgrade these guys as well. And let's make another nice little fallback position here. And we can look to upgrade our Dwarven artillery at some point as well. And we're going to get another barracks back here. Something like this.
I have no fear.
And this would make a fine place for an archer tower as well, or even a mage tower. So we get another tip. Command your troops, yes. We can move our guys around for more optimal placement. And that's something you certainly want to do. I mean, for the entire game, you always want to be trying to find that optimal placement. Some maps, I mean, you can't win unless you are going for optimal placement. So there we go. Bloodlust, kill 500 enemies, nice. So you see there, we got a bonus 27 gold from calling early, so it's certainly worth doing it. We'll just stick a mage tower out here, a high DPS, decent range tower. If they start calling some high armored units, and if you upgrade them, they basically one-shot these little hounds. Let's get Alrak over here fighting the raiders.
For the king.
So not too shabby. We did very well. And our back line almost didn't even get used, which is good. That means we did it right in the front line. So that was 8 out of 8 waves and 3 stars for us. So now we can look to jump into the hero room and give Alrak some of his new perks. So one of his strongest abilities is the Sand Warriors. And that essentially gives him another body, right? So having multiple guys that can block up a lane, once this is fully upgraded, they'll have more life, and I think there'll be 3 of them. So 3 warriors, they'll have like 150 life apiece. That's essentially a free barracks wherever Alrak goes, and that's very strong, really at any point in the game. Now we can go ahead and reset that if we don't think we need that at the beginning. And some of his abilities, what I like about Alrak is they're very synergistic, right? So if we want to increase his attack damage, we could get 1 point in swordsmanship, and you'll see his base attack damage increases. And then we would go over here and get flurry. So flurry is based off of his attack strength. So they work really well together. Or if we wanted to make him tanky, we could give him more HP and allow him to return some of the damage that he has dealt. So we'll get Sand Warriors here, and I think we're also going to get swordsmanship. So I think that's going to be quite nice for him. A little bit more damage, and now he has some Sand Warriors to help him. And we can look to spend our upgrade points. And if we wanted to do the heroic challenges, so we're limited by upgrade level 2. So that makes sense. So we can actually get some of these second upgrades if that's what we wanted. But let's go ahead and make our reinforcements stronger. You use them for the entirety of the game. So having them buffed is nice. And we can also upgrade, just get boot camp. At the moment, your barracks are a very important building, and they are really for the entire campaign, but they become gradually less and less important as you unlock all the towers that do more and more damage. So let's jump into the Iron Mode challenge here and knock this out. So we are limited in the towers that we can build. We can only build mage towers and barracks. So Desert Thugs and Raiders, Desert Thugs and Raiders. Okay. So very similar to what we did last time. We're going to make little intersections of overlapping fire. And we can do that again back here. And this is a very strong position here.
Like a charm. I put a spell on you. Have at thee.
And we'll look to get some more mage towers here. But I think this is going to be fine as an opener. And we'll send our reinforcements wherever the dogs go. That way we don't get overwhelmed by sheer numbers. And we chose to place some of our upgrades in the back. They're going to be able to essentially one-shot any of the lower tier units. And they'll be very good at dealing with the raiders as they come. So another mage tower for us, and we'll drop another one here as soon as we get the chance, as well as militia barracks in this position. Still can't quite power up the Stargate, and we can't blow up any chickens. We can just drop some fire on the raiders. Probably not necessary. These towers do a lot of damage at this stage. And I wish we could repair these like broken Legion towers. That would be pretty sweet. But alas, that is not the case. And this would be a strong position for any kind of a tower, but I think we just want more guys coming up the ground so that our adept towers can do more damage. And at this point, we just kind of wait them out. It's a single wave, so they're just going to keep coming and coming. We have all of our holdings filled, so we can just choose which towers we want to upgrade and strategically place our reinforcements. And I think we're going to focus on upgrading our mage towers to adept towers, especially the ones that sit at major intersections. They're going to be the most important. And whenever we get a chance to rain of fire a group of the raiders, we're going to certainly do that. Just like that. And whenever you upgrade a barracks, if the units of the barracks are dead, as soon as you upgrade it, it spawns 3 new units. So that's a nice little trick you can use in later stages of the game to block up a pathway against, let's say, a very powerful enemy. They'll walk up to your guys, they'll take a second, they'll kill them all, you instantly upgrade it, and then boom, 3 more guys spawn and block that enemy for a little while longer. So that's a nice little trick you can do in the late game. And we now have 1 more upgrade point. And we'll get that. We didn't really need that, but we'll throw that in there, no big deal. And let's go ahead and knock out the heroic challenge as well. And I think that'll be it for today. Once I do the heroic challenge, I want to save some of these maps for later. I don't know if all of these videos will quite be an hour long, as a lot of them were for the last series. But I want to give you guys an opportunity to, for those of you who've never seen a tower defense game before, this should all be pretty new to you. And perhaps exciting. I hope it's exciting. So hopefully this is a genre you can see yourself getting into. It certainly is one of my favorites.
Fully loaded. Have at thee. Charge. I put a spell on you for honor and glory, might and magic.
And we're just establishing our positions once again.
Have at thee. Charge.
All right. So 6 waves. 6 waves, no heroes. And also something I forgot to mention that didn't come up just because it didn't happen. But if you leak even 1 time on a wave like this, you only have 1 life and you'll lose. So we can't afford to leak at all. And leaking, of course, I'm referring to letting a guy get all the way past our flags and ending the run. We're just going to reinforce this back position, because no matter what gets through, sometimes you can lose a map by positioning too many towers too heavily on one side to the point where you almost ignore the other side. So some of the towers that will always get value are the towers that sit on a single lane, right? So this is one single lane. Every enemy that spawns has to walk past these towers. So they're guaranteed to get value if enemies spawn, period. So as opposed to, let's say, if we put all of our gold into upgrading this tower, they send a huge wave this way. This tower, all the gold we spent is essentially worthless because it's on a tower that sits on a lane that wasn't affected. And you'll notice also I am prioritizing building new towers over upgrading existing ones. And that is on purpose. It's almost always preferable to do that. Except, you know, in a lot of later stages, a lot of later stages is a good word. I guess you'd call these map stages, levels. There are certain opening builds that you almost have to do in order to win. And a lot of those revolve around kind of quickly upgrading a single tower. But in these early maps, this the DPS of these towers, even at a low level, is pretty good overall. So we'll spawn some more guys. I think we can safely call early. Call a wave within 3 seconds of the icon showing up. So we called that wave pretty fast. It's good to know. And we can look to rain of fire some of them, just to prevent them from having any chance whatsoever of getting through. And I would prioritize, when you have a very powerful choke point like this, I would certainly prioritize the splash damage. Now, one thing to note, as powerful as the splash damage is from these very expensive artillery pieces, they also do not hit air. So if you play tower defenses, you're probably very familiar with that trope. The splash damage tower does not hit air. So there are drawbacks to every single tower. And we can upgrade them. And you'll see the model changes, and some of these, once we get past level 3 in the towers, there's a complete divergence. The towers get more unique. You get tons of upgrade choices. And once again, even more kind of RPG type elements start to enter the game. And I certainly have my favorite towers in this game, which I cannot wait to show you guys. For a mobile game, there sure is a lot of flavor and world building. And we're nearly done with this, just got to take care of these raiders. And we'll upgrade our final tower in case anything gets through. We will have the DPS to stop it. But reinforcing, keeping them in this position, allowing our upgraded Dwarven artillery to do its work. So there we go, our final star, and we can just throw that into our chemical powder. And then we'll be good to go. We have 4 extra stars, so that translates into quite a few upgrades here. I think that's all of these upgrades were because we did the challenges before we went ahead to the next stage. And you could certainly just skip those and go to the next stages. They'll just be a little bit more challenging for having not done them. And our next map is Sape Oasis, and it's a fun one as well. And there's some more like Star Wars references in this map that I already remember. And so that's going to be it for today's episode, episode 1. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be putting these out almost daily, probably daily for a while. So if you do like them, let me know. Hit the thumbs up button. That lets me know that I'm doing a good job and I'm putting out content that you guys want to see. And if you think you like me, think you like watching my videos in general, go ahead and subscribe. I'm a small channel, so every subscriber I get, I do see it, I do notice it, and it means a lot to me. So without any further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.